Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back, my friends. This is, of course, the MRC show that never ends. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome one, welcome all to our first live stream on F1 25 from the MRC Racing League. It is a bit of a pre-season warm-up this evening, and a few of our drivers out on track, so we have 5-lap races ahead of us this evening for your entertainment. We have got a number of drivers on track. It's lovely to see everybody back on track, and we're starting off here in Brazil straight away with the red lights, and the 5 laps begin in gorgeous sunshine here in Brazil, and we are running. Blurred Magic, I think that's how he put the reference, he gets away well. And now this is the first taste for some of these drivers on F1 25. Let's get the maps up and running. We've got a few drivers, still a few buds, a few bits of contact early on. But I didn't manage to get a bit of an introduction there for you, ladies and gents. But here we are. F1 25 is up and running. We had a practice session on Monday evening, and now a 5-lap. 6 races for you this evening. Well, the boys get a chance to race one another for the first time, and it's lovely to have. We have Drifthawk there, Kick, It's Only KG, Blurred Magic, new drivers, Mackett, new driver, BFD Ross, new driver, Blurt, new driver, and you go to, well, he's unfortunately gone to the back, but they're all new drivers, so welcome everybody to MRC, welcome to all of them. We look forward to seeing how they get on this evening. Do join me in the YouTube channel when you can, ladies and gents. It's lovely to have you and your input with us. Already, end of lap 1. We have 2 of the new guys up there with Wookie. And Drifthawk not too far away. Xavier is with us as well this evening. 3 abreast into turn 1. I think Smith, Blurred Magic, there's been a bit of contact. Blurred Magic goes sideways, and that's a catastrophic effect because that's involved the Red Bull, the Smith and Ant as well. I think that was in there in the Williams. No damage this evening, but we are keeping our eye on everybody. Oh, there's a big collision. Who was that went round? I'm not sure who that was. Blurred Magic, there's contact down the straight there. Unfortunately, Lou, our special guest, you have only just got me this evening. Special guest was waylaid at work, so unfortunately, you've got me, and only me. So I do apologise, but at the same time, what else could you want on a Wednesday evening than a bit of MRC action, finally back on track, and me to bring you all of the action. So at the end of lap 2, we've got the top 3 pulling away a little bit at this moment in time. Excuse me. Of course, this is some of our drivers' first foray into F1 25. They may not have full setups yet. Of course, where we're just developing ourselves, starting to come good now, starting to get the new feel for the game. And I would love to hear people's feedback in the YouTube of what they've experienced so far, or if they're running with it. I have my views, but I'll keep them to myself for a little while, which is a bit unusual, but hey-ho. Can't take the whole spotlight, can I? And now we've got Xavier on the march through. Expecting Xavier. Benny has already shown, he's not racing type, but Ben has already shown that he is very, very quick as well. Suzu, Gordy and Xavier. So looking forward to the Tier 1 Championship this season, where these drivers will do the battle once again. And there's a few close gaps now, because Xavier got through on Drifthawk and he's pulled Drifthawk along with him. So the top 5 all within DRS now, and it's a very, very long DRS straight from up the hill from here. Young Cow up the hill. A lot of drivers a bit twitchy on the throttle. Traction has been vastly improved in F1 25. That is the immediate part of feedback, but also the dirty air is also absolutely, well, it's overpowered, as some would say. Once you're in this train now, such as these drivers where Drifthawk is now, you find yourself that it is very difficult, as Hive Eclipse has had a spin out of Young Cow, but you do find yourself really sort of stuck a little bit, and it's very, very difficult to overtake. But we've got Kick and Wookie doing battle Kick on Monday evening did prove himself to be quite a quick driver, but also a very feisty driver indeed. Oh, KG's gone very wide at the top of the hill, and that's given Saviour the doors open for him. Gotta leave room, and he does. Smith is the first one to receive some track limit penalties. Who's my favourite for Tier 2 this season? That is a very good question. I'm going to actually have a look quickly and see who is in Tier 2, because that might help. But one thing I do know, I think a lot of these championships this season are going to be extremely close. I think they're going to be very, very competitive. And because it's a new game, because there are new handling characteristics. Look at this, and we start the final lap. There's almost 3 abreast, and oh, look at that cage. He had to take avoiding action, such as the overspeed he had there. Under brakes into turn 1. But in terms of Tier 2, I mean, look, like I say, Louis, I think you are definitely one there. I don't know to blow you on trumpet, but I am going to do it for you. KG is looking very quick so far, so he could be one to watch as well. Kaiser Soze has looked very quick this season. So he's going to be looking, I'm sure, to mount an offence. And we've got quite a few new drivers in... as Drift Hawk goes very wide up the hill. But we're going to have... I think it's going to be a very, very tight championship in Tier 2. But, of course, nobody yet knows the teams that they're going to be driving. That will come next week, and I will give more details later on in the evening. But as we round the last sector, the final lap of the first 5 lap, it is Kick who's going into the final corner in the lead, but Wookie's going to have the DRS. What about Saviour? This is going to be a drag to the line. Who's saved the battery? Who's got the overspeed? Who's going to be able to take it? DRS is going to be open. I tell you what, Saviour's looking to maybe nick second, and Saviour nicks second, and he does. So Kick takes the first win of the evening. Saviour in second beats Wookie by 1700ths of a second. Well, we've seen that before with Saviour pipping somebody by fine margins. KG finishes 4th, Drifthawk in 5th, Armour in 6th, Maka in 7th, the PC driver, and in 8th, Loppy 9th, Bit in 10th, Smith, then Baby Hornet, Blurt. He's definitely going to get a nickname. Stubalicious in 14th with Ross, Blurred Magic, who couldn't see which way to go. Unfortunately, he's in 16th, Hyperclips, and then we go to Ned. So Mr. Flanders bringing up the 18 drivers. So that was the first one already. Fast and Furious, folks. Hope you can keep up with this, because only just started. We are saying, no, let's have a look. So this is interesting, new one now. So driver of the day was Saviour for this one. The fastest lap was by Saviour. Most overtakes by Armour. Cleanest was Saviour, and the race winner obviously was Kick. So it's a nice, interesting part that we've got here, that we've got a bit of extra than just the driver of the day here. So it's quite nice to get a bit of extra, an extra credit to the racers this evening. Don't forget, everybody, while you're in this little period of the results, to hit the like button, and if you have not subscribed to the MRC channel, do hit the bell, subscribe, and you will know when we go live. So that was an interesting one to start our evening. Crikey, we've got 5 more of these to go. And our next track, ladies and gents, let me bring it up for you now, is going to be the Twist, a tight and very fast roller coaster ride of Zandvoort Circuit in Netherlands. It has been set to dry weather, I do believe, so drivers now don't have to worry about wet weather setups at this moment in time. That will come, I'm sure, during the season. But again, let's see you in the YouTube chat. We're just going to wait a few minutes while everybody readies up. Once again, it does take us straight back to the lobby rather than the next race. So a little bit of a a bit of breather for everybody there. But 13 of you watching, please do get involved. Like I say, hit the like button. It takes you seconds to hit the thumbs up if you're enjoying MRC and enjoying us back on your tablets, your laptops, your computers, your telephones. Please do hit the like button. We are glad to be back, and it is my privilege and my pleasure and my honour to be the one to bringing you the first stream in F1 25. That was a bit leery. Must admit, hopefully the boys will settle down a little bit, start giving a bit more respect and a bit more racing room. There's a lot of little bits of carbon fibre flying there, and in a tier event, I think that could have ended a little bit nasty, and that's not what we like to see, especially here in MRC. So, luckily there aren't any stewards this evening, but if we do deem an offence overly aggressive or over the top, then conduct points and penalty points can be applied. Stewards do reserve the right to look at any incidents as we see it. And good, my man, lovely to have you with us as well, as always, supporting MRC. And our drivers then going to start putting their setups on for this track. Again, another very difficult circuit round here. Difficult in the dirty air, because once you're in that, say, about a second and a half, give or take, that's when you start to lose the front end downforce. And it's really difficult to turn the car to get the throttle on as early as you would like. Braking really does change as well. So something else for the drivers to think about this evening. Even tyres overheating, it may only be 5 laps and they're all on soft tyres. The overheating is still a factor that they have to watch for, especially some of these faster circuits, such as this one here at Netherlands, one that can really hurt, especially the left-hand tyres. There's a lot of faster right-hand corners that we have to go through. Turn 7 comes to mind, but here we go, 4 red lights and 5 are on, so this time on we go racing for round 2, and it is random grids, so that's by Hive Eclipse and Wookie, and oh, big spin off the start for Hive Eclipse, got too much wheel spin, and that's hurt him from pole position down to the back of the grid. A few drivers may have had to take avoiding action, but Wookie got through nicely on that one. There's a few drivers side by side as we go into turn 3 for the first time. The banking on the circuit, I think it was KG and Ross, it certainly was. KG looking feisty early on, side by side through this part of the track. Oh, I think Ross came across, and that's allowed KG to go through. Mack up there in 6, and then you've got the 2 Mercedes and the 2. Oh, there's a car come across. I'm not sure that was someone. Macker, I think it was. Loppy's got 3 seconds for an on a yellow flag. That's an interesting one. Might be making an overtake and then it hurt him. We'll come to penalties as they develop. Ooh, that was bit. I think it was a little bit wide. It certainly was. So I'm going to call him Ned Flanders. Ned Flanders is through into 10th. And now the top 2 sort of drifted away a little bit from the Drift Hawk. I actually quite like that name. I'm not even going to try to give him a nickname. But look at this, 3 drivers side by side already. It's interesting use of ERS usage now as well. Easy to recharge that battery pack and deploy it as and when is necessary. So we're going to see an interesting use of that iron shoe, and not just tonight, but we do have a practice session and a qualifying and race at Bahrain tomorrow evening. I'm not sure if that's going to be streamed, ladies and gents, but that is before, of course, the season starts, and I think that's going to be an interesting factor of the season. So Ant now is 1.2 behind Smith, and this is where he's just carried a bit too much speed, got the understeer and maybe the dirty air, and that's allowed the 2 RBs to go through. So uncharacteristic mistake there from Ant. Again, everyone just learning the handling of F1 25. It is quite a bit different than what we have seen and experienced over a few years, and Hammer's had a big moment somewhere. He's now dropped to the back of the field. Baby Hornet not able to do much with the 2 Aston Martins ahead of him, but Stu's made progress. He is now in 11th, those 2 at the back of the grid, but KG looking at making the move on Drift Talk into turn 1. Drift Talk trying to hold it, can't do, but is he going to try the switch back? Can't quite make it, very squirrely on exit. Now KG into 3rd, but it's got Smith for company. It's nice to see Smith up there, must admit. Had a few times where he struggled a little, but Wookie now just over a second ahead out of the DRS zone of Kick, and this is where now Wookie's in clear air. It's going to be perfect for him, and he's going to be able to place the car where he wants, turning when he wants, whereas Kick is going to be struggling a little bit, but got a very good run to that part of the middle sector and has closed within the DRS now. Of course, as I mentioned, the heat and the tyres is a key factor one we must all watch and look out for. But Kick has definitely come into it. He's brought KG and Drifthawk with him as well. So Smith's not too far behind. He's got a big kick, did Smith there. But we've got Stubbs up to 8th, so Stubbs having a really good race, but he's going to have Ant for company. That is never a nice feeling. I have been there, done that many times. KG now sets the fastest lap of the race, but no going into turn 1, but Ant is going to make the move onto Stubb, under brakes, gets the car stopped on the apex, and he is on his way. Now lap 4 out of lap 5. These are these races that... Oh, Ned's had a problem. And he's dropped down again. Eclipse is having a poor race. He's not finding it comfortable around here so far, but this is the whole point. This is why we've got these races. We've got people to be able to be on track with each other, and then they can just learn and get to grips with being side by side and racing once more with everybody around them. It's all good using time trial, but I tell you what, KG came from a long way back, and I think Wookie's had the problem and Kick's gone through, and then KG's had a problem, and then Drifthawk's gone through. That's all change through a part of the track you don't always see overtakes. Turn 11 and turn 12. Wow, where did that come from? So now we've got Kick in the lead as we start the final lap, with Wookie right behind it. Drifthawk and KG all looking very interested indeed. Drifthawk's trying to have a look. Oh, and Wookie trying to have a look. I don't know if the door was shut from Kick. There's been another tap. KG, oh, Wookie's coming back on the line. I think Drifthawk got the better run. Didn't know he was there. Drifthawk, the overspeed he had. Kick, that's unlucky for him. Oh, as Drifthawk's cut across from KG. There's wheel bagging left, right and centre. Come on, boys, leave room. This isn't NASCAR. This isn't touring cars. Leave room at all times. Oh, there's more contact. I mean, we do have all of the assists available this evening, so we do have different tiers fighting out here. And I think that is what the cause is of a few of the drivers potentially, I use this term loosely, but out of position that they would normally find themselves. But it's lovely that they can be racing the faster drivers, but you can't blindly follow the racing line. You do have to give room to the other drivers, and I think it's going to be Wookie who's coming around the banking for the final time, going to try and take the shorter run to the line. KG's not going to be close enough, but he will take second with Drifthawk in third. Saviour just pips Smith on the run to the line, and recovered up to 6th. Kick in 7th. Stubb, good race from him, he's in 8th. Loppy in 9th, with Ross in 10th. Bit 11th, Armour 12th, Macca 13th. Baby Hornet comes across in 14th, with Blurred Magic in 15th. Then it was, I think it was Hive Eclipse, Blurred, and then, I'm sure it was at the back there. A little bit more contact, not what we like to see, but again, everybody's just going to learn. So we'll just wait, it's gone a bit dark. Well, let's get the podium celebrations this time. So driver of the day was Ant with the fastest lap. Wookie takes the win, but most overtakes from Ant. And the cleanest driver as well. So people are reminded in the Discord to not make any call-outs regarding any of the racing that we see here tonight. Any kind of call-outs, any kind of criticisms of other people's driving, put your hand up in the race stewards panel if you have a grievance on the stewards. Although we don't have stewarding tonight, but if it's a severe grievance, we will look at that quite happily for you. But again, do not post that in the main channels. We had an incident the other night where that was done, and hopefully the new driver though, so we'll have learned from it. We have very high standards here in MRC. That is why we are one of the most followed. That is why we are one of the most loved and respected Formula 1 esports leagues, because we have good guidance, really strong rules, and a very strong ethos that we stick to, and a lot of people respect that. A few new joiners do find it difficult to adapt to and to get used to, but once they involve themselves in our culture, honestly, it's a league that people don't want to miss out on and they really want to be a part of. So 2 races down already. And we have got Miami next, the beautiful sun of the south of the USA. Difficult circuit at best. So we've got everybody readying up now. So this is going to be a tough one. This is a difficult race to set your car up at the best of times. But of course now the new handling, this is going to be even trickier. We've got, of course, the fast, long straights of the final sector and part of the second sector. But then we've got the tight and twisty part, haven't we? Which has undergone a bit of change. So we'll try to show you that during the race if I can. During the bit that's underneath the highway. And we have seen many drivers caught out around there, but then also you need the car set up for balance round the first sector, the fast first sector. So it's going to be interesting to see if anybody's done this yet or everyone's just using a standard setup. So we will see how it all goes. So as long as everybody's calm in the Discord channel, I hope they are. So everyone just now getting some setup work done. So here we go now. There we are. Third race. And we're lights out. Bird Magic gets a good start. KG's in second. Oh, there's been a few drivers have a horrible start. I think one of them was Smith. Stube as well. He had a horrible start. Too much wheel spin. And they're straight into the barriers. But Bird Magic, KG and Kick all got through cleanly. Drifthawk up there as well. Don't forget all 4 of these new drivers to MRC. All learning the ways. Oh, big slide for Bird Magic. He hits the wall. Don't know if he got a tap from Kick or not. Hopefully not. But now, here we go, the first time. DRS not operational now, but it's going to be interesting to see who has lower wings and who with lower wing setups. We've got Hive Eclipse looking very interested with Drifthawk, who's trying to take the race in line, has to jump back in to get the slipstream. He's kicking have a look on the outside as well. Everyone just playing very nice at this moment in time, as they should. This is not open lobbies. This is esports racing at its finest. This is the tight and twisty bit. That wall's being elongated. So is that one on the inside. So it makes it a lot tighter, a lot more technical as well. Oh, Havoc clipped one of the power too much and spun the rear. That is a horrible way of spinning it. That is a horrible, horrible tight place, but managed to spin it round with a little help from one of the barriers. Luckily, no damage again this evening. Most of the drivers quite close at this moment in time. Got to pick your braking point there. Rookie's found himself up into fourth with his teammate behind him. I think that was Antu who broke himself. He certainly did. And he's got Blurt on the inside now for company. I'm not sure where is Blurt? There he is. There he goes. Jamie Hornet found himself in 8th. He'll get a nosebleed up there. Carl now just dropped off the back of his teammate who's in the dirty air, but Ant's going to have dirty air behind him. Carl will probably also get a nosebleed up there. And this is pre-season, so I can take the mick out of these drivers. This is all in good humour. This is not personal. Oh, as KG gets a big kick. But we, like I say, we do not condone any kind of call-outs in Discord or in YouTube channel, so please don't think about trying that there either. We are a very respectful league. We are one of the best communities that are out there. One of the most active Discords as well. And it is an absolutely lovely place to be. Maka has left the session. That's a shame for the Aston Martin man. Had a good start, had a few difficult races, but it was a start. And now we've got the long DRS And Keik's going to get the move done early doors, I think. That now DRS is wide open. KG came across a little bit early there. Let's hope there's no contact in the braking zone. Keik's got to the inside just to try to get the clean braking, which he does nicely. A little bit wide from Keik, but he gets it done, and KG can't do anything about it. There's a yellow flag somewhere in Sector 2. That's Hive Eclipse. It's gone back to worse. Armour's had a moment as well from the final. Turn 17. Out of the hairpin. Hive Eclipse gets 3 seconds for corner cutting. This is one of those tracks, it is very difficult when you're following a car, even when you're pushing on now too. Especially with these, like I say, the new downforce, the new settings and the setups that we have here. That to get the car set right is going to be very, very difficult indeed. So it's not really a surprise to see a few penalties around this track. I'm sure by the time, and if we race, ooh, Ned's had a collision with Ross somewhere through the first sector. It's got a penalty for it. Again, ooh, I think KG tried to pull out and just got a bit of a tank stopper on there. He's going to try and go around the outside, almost drifting it there, but cutting across a little bit in the racing line. Which again, a little bit frowned upon, but we'll have a look. Yeah, Hive Eclipse is not a good race there. He just retired from this race. He'll be back, I'm sure, for the next round. But again, top 4 now, Ant's closing in with everybody battling ahead. Keik is right up the rear wing. I somehow managed to. It's a strange one. Ghosted it, went through. Unusual. I've seen that before, but he makes the move. End of lap 3. 2 more to go. Armour and Loppy battling further back. Let's leave the top 4. Go to some of our drivers who have been with us quite a long time. Baby Hornet in 7th with Armour. Good gap to Armour, who outbreaks himself or taps the wall. That's going to allow Loppy another look to go through. I'm surprised the car's actually ghosted that quickly. That's a new feature we don't normally see. But Loppy, very hard racer, as we've seen for many a season. Armour Red, a very quick racer as well. Stube looking involved in there, and I think that was Smits with him as well. It was. So a few of our drivers here that we have seen for many a season, and it's lovely to have them racing with us again this evening. And for one more season at least, of course. And this sort of talk about when MRC is the place to be. These drivers have been with us for a number of years now, many seasons. And they just don't want to leave, don't want to go anywhere else, and that's exactly how it should be. Ant's managed to close the gap to the top 4, so he's now having a look at Wookie. Oh, big spin! The rear's locked for Ant. Wookie had a bit of a heart attack, I think, and luckily Ant ghosted, so Wookie didn't get it. Well, he didn't get any damage, but was able to bypass through. But Ant now dropped between his Ant. Oh, that was a bit of a squeeze from Baby Hornet. I don't know if he realised that Ant was still there. But now we've got Wookie, Bit, Baby Hornet and Ant. Again, stalwarts here, some admins now ahead of stewards. And one of our lead commentators as well. All together. And as the big locker for Baby Hornet and Ant again. Wow! As he hits the final braking phase, the rears just lock on that Williams. And that is something he is not going to be enjoying whatsoever. And it's but again, fact-finding, so something new for him to think of. And this is going to be an interesting battle, Baby Hornet and Bit. That is going to be very good fun. I think they'll both quite enjoy that. As we get to the final lap of this. Drifthawk and KG have been battling so much with Wookie that Keik has now decided he's going to escape up the road well outside of the DRS. And barring a mistake, I think Keik will take the victory in this race. Gets a 2-second penalty, but he's in 10th, so it's a good race from him. So after the start he had, Ross as well as ahead of Saviour and Loppy. Not sure what happened to Loppy actually. If he had a moment somewhere, and Saviour as well might have been caught up in something. Baby Hornet goes a little bit deep there into the technical section, as I call it. And there we are, the very tight highway section that goes underneath one of the main roads through south of Miami. Once we go to the final time, Keik is going to come unopposed. Try the final braking zone. Can just take it nice and easily, which he does. Easy on the power. And he will take the victory this time round. Was KG. Look at this with Drifthawk through the final corner. Drifthawk's just ahead. It's a short run to the line, and it's just just, wow, zero. Wow, okay, that's probably the closest I think I've ever seen. KG005 of a second. Wow. Wookie in 4th, Baby Order takes 5th with Bit in 6th, and 7th, Armour ahead of Stoob and Blurt, finished ahead of Ross. Oh, you had his penalty, sorry. So Ross ahead of Saviour, ahead of Loppy. Blurt, I think, will be there. I think he was. So there we are. Another race down. Little bit cleaner, but hopefully everyone just calms down, starts to leave that racing room, and keep comments out of Discord. I can see it coming through, so please do refrain from doing that, especially the person who it is, because they should know better. We'll leave the podium celebrations and we'll have a quick look at the drive of the day. Was Baby Hornet with the most overtakes and clean overtakes at that. The race winner was Kick, of course, with Ant taking the fastest lap. So there we are. That's the next lap. DFT Lewis is happy with P2. Oh, so I bet you are, my friend. Bet you are. That was a good battle. And we now move on from Miami. The next race on our calendar, we're going to be under the lights in the Bahrain International Circuit at Losail. And if you excuse me a few minutes, folks, we're going to take a quick breather. I'll leave the stream on, of course, but I'll be back in just a few moments' time. So there we are, folks. Kick currently leading the championship by 4 points, with only KG not far away with Drift Hawk as well after that P2. So very close at the top there as we enter round number 4. 3 more rounds to go, so halfway point of our 6th lap races this evening. So folks, under the lights now for the first time. Different type of track that we've just experienced. It's a little bit closer to Netherlands than you'd think. It's a bit higher downforce than you like to think as well, do you, set the car up for that very fast middle sector. This is one where we talked about the dirty air, of course. The faster corners and the mid-speed and higher speed corners that we've got, a lot of those around Bahrain. This is where the dirty air can really play a big factor in the racing. So it's going to be an interesting one to see who manages that a little bit, who's managing their setups, their downforce levels. But again, folks, please do hit the like button before we get underway. How many have we got this evening? We have only got 3 of you. That is terrible. Come on, folks, hit the like and hit the bell. So come and join us. Now then, under the lights, as we say. Drivers setting their strategies up. I'm sure we'll be going very shortly. Hopefully, again, a little bit cleaner. It's getting there, but there's no excuse for any red mist to come down. Any contact should not be happening unless it is an honest mistake. But come on now, these drivers should know that. This is not open lobbies, as said. This is MRC racing, one of the best and some of the cleanest racing that we have in esports. Now 5 red lights, so let's go racing, and Smith gets a good start. Everyone just about managing their wheel spin. There was a little bit of contact somewhere. That could have been just some off the floor there, but now we've got Blurred Magic Wookie as well, and that's a kick of Stoob. I have absolutely no idea where Stoob's decided to go there. Wow, that's a new one. But Baby Hornet's been caught up in a bit as well, I think, with Ned Flanders. He finds himself at the back now, but Drift Hawks goes through on Smith, but he's got Kick up the inside as well into turn 4. just holds on, and Wookie there and KG again, and Blurred Magic. It's all the same people once more. And they'll kick up the inside, heavy under braking. That's a good move, very clean move as well, and fair from Smith, who gave room. But now Wookie's going to try it on the outside. That's a Fernando Alonso style move. Does he get the car stopped? Does he get it rotated? Does he get the power? He certainly does. It's KG who gets the kick on the inside. What can Smith do? There is Wookie on the inside. Wookie pulling ahead. Smith, there's nothing he can do. He's going to have to yield that place, and does. Very, very good racing from Smith. Left room all the time. So that's exactly how you do it, ladies and gentlemen. That is how, even if you're being passed, you leave the room and you're respectful to other drivers. There is no need in any kind of wheel banging. Gets a big one at the top of the hill, so I think that was Ross as well in the background. Might have been Blurred Magic. But now KG coming down the hill for the first time. He's going to look on the inside. The final corner, had to back out of it, which is wise to do. Runs wide as well because of the dirty air, and that's left him a little bit vulnerable, and it is. But who's that that's pit? I think we've seen drivers pit now. We are. Ant's pitted. And Baby Horns is also pit. So that's an interesting one. I think they are finished with this race at the moment. An interesting one to see what they do. Are they going to try some different tyres? Let's have a look and see what they are planning. But up ahead. Nope, they've just gone through the pits. Interesting. So, up ahead, Drift Hawk. Once again with kick, once again with Wookie, a KG as well. And I think Blurred Ross had a big moment, and he's had to come back off track. Blurred Magic gets through now. He's right on board with the Williams. A few of these drivers looking a little bit twitchy with the rear. I think they've tried to use a bit lighter setups and not really working for them at this moment when it comes to on-track league racing. At the end of lap 2, got a few gaps, but this battle here, we've got Ross in the lead of it with Blurred Magic, Macca back racing after the Puma 1 unfortunately last time out, but new track, new story, and Hive Eclipse as well, with Saviour behind, Bit, Armour Red, Blurred, Stube, and Loppy, and Ned Flanders as well. A lot of fast drivers in that train, and this is the interesting part, as I mentioned. Who's going to have the overspeed? Who's going to be able to keep their tyres in a working window, and who's going to be able to get moves done and get out the dirty air? But I'll tell you what, Blurred Magic is having a look at Ross. He's got the DRS open. Mac is having a look, but Hive Eclipse has got the run. This is almost 3 abreast going into the turn 1. There is Ross. There is Hive Eclipse on the inside, but that turns to the inside for turn 2. Ross did leave room, but Hive Eclipse backed out. He had Mac looking interested as well. But now look at this, Ross is having a go at Blurred Magic, and I tell you what, Hive Eclipse is on the inside, and there's Macca as well. I think Macca was a bit late from that one. That shouldn't have been Macca, but there was contact. Blurred Magic gets through, Saviour gets through as well, and Armour Red has taken advantage of Macca, and he has gone through too, and that's Blurred Magic going very, very wide, and this is going to be Saviour around the outside. Does he try to hold it? He does. Gets the better traction up the hill, and now Blurred Magic, from challenging in 6th, now drops to 9th place. This just allowed Smith to get through and just disappear a little bit, but Ross has got a penalty as well coming his way. Top 4 doing their thing. As we've got Macca and Blurred Magic once again doing battle. This is quite interesting. It's a bit off the track there, Blurred Magic. You won't be able to do that, unfortunately. This is not WRC or Rallycross. Good attempt though, give me that. And now Saviour's closing down. He's now got up to 7th. He's a man on a mission. Has always been quite good round here in fairness, and his pace is now starting to show, especially as Ross is outside of the DRS to Smith ahead. As we start the penultimate lap, Saviour pulls out with the DRS, gets the move done. I tell you what, Hive Eclipse has looked very, very quick in a straight line. Is he now going to have a look at Saviour into turn 1? I think he has thought about it, but just tried to keep that. Ooh, Wookie's got a 2-second time penalty. That's going to be interesting if Smith can do anything about that, or even Saviour with 2 laps to go. If they can close that gap down. Hive Eclipse definitely looks very, very quick in a straight line, but there's a struggle there. It's a struggle I mentioned. Turn 4 exit. It's so off camber. It ever has been. Thanks, Ryan. Yeah, I've got a drink. You're saying Sociopath. Sociopath has gone up to tier 1. But yeah, that would have been a very good call. I think he's going to do well though in Tier 1 Sociopath. Of course, Tier 2 champion last season. So yeah, that's going to be interesting to see how he does. And yeah, Tier 2, I think Lou's going to be one of the ones I think we need to keep our eye on. It's a C8 Lou, for those who watch the streams. A very strong season, of course. So I think that's going to be one that is going to develop, of course. It's only a short season, season 17. Of course, more details will come when the team draws live. Brought to you by yours truly, with a number of guests, of course. I don't do that alone. But now we start the final lap, and Kick has got just under a second ahead of Drift Hawk at this point. KG's looking close, and breaks himself just a little bit. Is Wookie going to be able to get the traction? So he's trying to get the switch back and the run through 2 and 3, but not enough this time round. Has Drift Hawk got enough slipstream, and he's got enough pace to just keep it ahead? He does. Oh, a few drivers getting a couple of warnings there. Tell you what, KG is looking like an interesting racer. You always have a look at the inside. It's the room given by Drift Hawk. I think saw him late, but maybe just enough. Didn't seem to be any carbon fibre flying to indicate any contact. Wookie, nothing much he can do, just sit and try to pick any pieces off this at all. KG getting a lot of wheel spin once again. But I think Drift Hawk has just managed to stay ahead. I've got one more really hard braking zone. The final corner. And Kick's going to take the win, I think. Once again, back to back for the Red Bull man. There he goes to the final braking point. KG had a little look at Drift Hawk. No DRS, almost pushed him through the final corner, but Kick's going to get the exit. And Kick is going to take the win. It's a short run when the DRS opens to the line. Kick takes it. Drift Hawk ahead of KG and Wookie. With a 2-second penalty, Xavier couldn't quite close that gap, so he'll take 5th ahead of Smith. Armour will take 7th as Ross had a few penalties. Macca in 8th, Bit in 9th. Ross then will be in 10th, Blurred Magic, and heck, they had some penalties, so Loppy in 11th, Stube in 12th, Blurred Magic 13th, Hyperclips, then Blurt and Ned, and then of course Ant and Baby Hornet had their own little battle. So there we are, folks. 4 down, 2 to go. So, that was under the lights, and now we go back in a few moments' time to a race we've just seen, actually, on Monday evening, but the race winner Kick with a fast lap from Xavier and driver of the day. Most overtakes were done by Baby Hornet, and then Xavier was the cleanest driver. I'm not sure how Baby Hornet had the most overtakes. He dropped to the back, but maybe overtook a lot of drivers and then decided, thank you, I'm going to have a bit of fun with Ant at the rear. So there we are. We're going back. Now, a few drivers who raced on Monday evening will know that we were at the Catalunya circuit in Spain, and now we've got 5 laps around there as well, and this is one where tyre temps are really, really important, to be honest. This is going to be a tricky one, and the dirty air is key, especially around turn 3. That is crucial. The turn 3 and turn 9 over the hill. That's usually flat in qualifying and almost in clean air when you've got the soft tyres and low fuel. That's almost a flat corner. It probably will not be for many of these drivers in that dirty air. So that's going to be an interesting one. So a few drivers in the YouTube chat. Love you to have a little bit more of you join us. That's the 8 and Ryan, of course, discussing their championships in Tier 2 this season. Of course, we're back to 4 full tiers now, including Tier 4, our entry level. Actually, I do apologise, that is 5 tiers. I am sorry. We have got, of course, still Tier 0, the no assist tier that you will know as Extreme. That is now Tier 0, but we've got 4 fully fledged assist level tiers as well as that. Tier 1 and Tier 2, very similar in their assist levels. Then we have Tier 4, which allow a few more assists, Tier 3 and Tier 4, which allows pretty much all of the main driving assists, including racing line, full traction control, automatic gears, just to name a couple. So if you are learning, please do join us. The link of Discord is on our profile. Again, it's not about blindly following the racing line. It is about making your own line and still being aware of the drivers around you, which I think for the first 2 races especially, we may have seen a few drivers not able to do that, but as they learn, I'm sure they will learn that there are arrows, proximity arrows, and well, we do encourage the use of the rear view mirror. That is encouraged to use. It's not mandatory in MRC to use the rear view mirror, but it is definitely encouraged. It just helps to see where that car you're battling is moving to, so you can adjust accordingly. And again, as I say, leave room and respect your competitors. So 5 laps around the Barcelona circuit. A circuit that I think we know now, is leaving the Formula 1 calendar. As we move to a new circuit in Madrid, a new street circuit that I don't know, I'd like to know people's thoughts on that one. I mean, Catalonia is a circuit that has served up some good races over the years, but then of course moving to another street circuit, how's that going to fare? But here we go for the 5th round, and it is Loppy ahead of Ross this time. Oh, there's a car that was blurred at the back, just got a lot of wheel spin. A few drivers left, right, and centre. We're almost 3 abreast. We are 3 abreast. Just going into turn 1. Oh, big collision. Ross got hit by Loppy. Into turn 1. That was a big hit. Ferrari going wide. There's probably KG. Yeah, I think it actually is. Let everything just settle down a little bit, because now this is where the dirty air is going to start happening. And on the inside of Armour Red, these two know each other very well. Oh, a few drivers going very wide there as well at the exit. One of them was Xavier. Very uncharacteristic mistake there from Xavier. Oh, I think KG got squeezed a little bit through there. Not sure, but he's battling with Smith. Smith is down with KG on the inside, gets that move done, but Anton Stu, that's an Harbour. That's going to be a good fun battle between these drivers. And it always has been. I have Eclipse there in 9th. Just it's good to see what he can do in the straight line down. The start finish straight here. But Kick has got a 1.7. Oh, Smith goes very wide. But Kick's got a again, this is clean air that I've talked about, because he's in that clean air, and already Loppy nearly 1.7 seconds off. Anton, Wookie side by side. Those two know how to race closely as well. Wookie holds on, and now Ant under pressure from Armour and KG as well. KG's looking into turn 4. He's got the inside line. Armour has to give way as we've got Wookie and looking at Stube. Oh, and that's, I think it was Hive. Got slightly off the top of turn 4, easy to lose the rear, and he did. KG's now looking on the outside. He's probably going to have to give that one up to Ant. Oh, he bounced over the yellow curves, and he has had to give way. Brave to try to keep going around the outside there. Usually you'd have to give that one up, the way the track moves as well. But look at this. Wookie now is having a go. Loppy with the DRS activated there. Stu goes a little bit deep. That's going to open the door for Ant as well. This is good racing from some of our veteran drivers. Really fantastic racing, always leaving room as well. Not seeing a little bit of contact at all between these drivers. Oh, and that's KG's gone very wide. There's gravel out there. Now DRS for Loppy and for everybody going down the main straight. This has just allowed Kick to disappear off into the distance. Everybody actually from Wookie down to 12th of Maka are in a DRS train now, but this is where it's going to be difficult. Round turn 3, and it's interesting to see who backs off, who loses the most time on there, who has to back off and just feather that throttle. Ryan and I know exactly, we had that little problem on Monday evening, and I think that's Smith having a little bit of look at Stube as well. a good little battle, and that's cost Stube a little bit of time. He doesn't want to be having to defend, he wants to push on. Oh, a little bit twitchy through 8 because he's outside of the DRS. Smith's looking very racy round here. Indeed, had a good race actually on Monday. Not quite close enough for the DRS in there. Oh, there's a late charging. That was Drift Hawk, outbroke himself and has pushed his way through. I think that wouldn't be looked on kindly by the stewards on a normal race weekend, a normal race night, but Baby Hornet's now also looking interested at the back of this as well. He's gone round, and he's now with Drift Hawk as well, because KG's gone a bit further backwards. Baby Hornet now decides he's going to create his own track, and he has 2 seconds. So this has allowed the top, well, 2nd to 5th to get away now, and Wookie's not in a really bad position. He's he may be 3 seconds back from Kick, but he's going to have, that's going to allow him to have cleaner air. Thank you, Bobo. You left a like. Well, I should hope so from you, my friend. But yeah, Wookie's going to have that cleaner air, whereas look at Ant, he's now a 2nd back. He's in that dirty air now, so is Loppy and Armour, so they're going to be the ones really kind of struggling at this point. And I know a bit of the feedback was the dirty air is a little bit too powerful, so it may need to be toned down just a little bit, because we don't feel like it wasn't powerful enough in F1 24. You could follow closely for lap after lap. We've seen that in the Professional Esports Championship, where it was a train of drivers for 30 laps. Are we going to see? And then we saw the same in our league as well. But now it's just too much now. So as we've seen, their Kick is just disappearing up the distance. Loppy's now dropped off the back, and that's allowed Armour to have a go. But Ant as well is looking in on Wookie. He managed to close that gap back. Manage his tyres, manage his throttle. Be a little bit quicker than Wookie and close the gap, and now with the DRS he is through into 2nd. They've actually closed the gap a touch to Kick, but these two top of the game, top of their respective tiers. I do think Wookie could be a good contender in tier 1. He's definitely got the pace, plus in tier 2 as well. There's a yellow flag for an instant further back there, as I think that might have been Baby Hornet. He's dropped to 13th. Yeah, look at that. Ant is closing now to the back of Kick. He's not going to have enough time at the end of this race to do much about it. But now Ant is going to be in that dirty air for this final sector. But Kick wins 3 races in a row, and he'll take this 5-lap championship. He's pretty not quite there, but extends the lead. Ant in 2nd, Wookie 3rd with Armour in 4th, Loppy in 5th ahead of Stube and Smith. Drift Hawk in 8th and Saviour in 9th. Mack in 10th. KG had a little penalty. He is in 11th with Baby Hornet in 12th. Bit will come across in 13th ahead of Blurt, Ross, Bird Magic, Ned Flanders and Hive Eclipse. So there we are, folks. Mack has left the session, unfortunately. And now we have only one more event for you this evening, and that is going to be an all-out drag at the Temple of Speed in Monza. This is going to be one where caution is advised. It is high speed, as we all know, and heavy braking zones. So Kick takes the win with Armour taking the fastest lap. Drive of the day in the cleanest was Ant again, and the most overtakes by Drift Hawk. And there are your standings for the race. Temple of Speed, our final one for you this evening. This is where keep your eye on the braking. Leave room, especially through turns 1 and 2, because it is very, very tight. So is turn 4 and 5, the second chicane. Very tight. The Les Mod, very tight. Scary chicane, tight and very quick as well. Dirty air is going to be a big factor around those corners, especially towards the end of the lap. And the Parabolica hairpin, that is going to be very, very difficult, very tight indeed. But we're going to have 5 laps regardless of racing around there, and we have seen a few questionable standards this evening that will be spoken about I'm sure, in the Discord quietly from our stewards, and that will then filter down where we won't see that hopefully in our tier races in a couple of weeks' time. But at least you've whet your appetite a little bit for a bit of F1 25 action. It has me for MRC. I can't wait to get us started very, very soon. But this driver's just readying up now. And then for the final time, we will have a little bit of action for you, ladies and gents. So a little question now for everybody watching, whether it's the drivers or spectators. Which is your favourite track that we have raced at here this evening? Of course, we have 6 to choose from: Brazil, Netherlands, Miami, Bahrain, Spain, and here in Monza. Which is your favourite track and why? And also, who do you think's been one of the standout drivers this evening? Who is someone that you've enjoyed watching go up and down the order, and also someone you've seen hopefully on stream as well? So let me know who you have been following and which track is your favourite one. So yeah, Louis likes Zandvoort, but I think that was your maiden win, was it not? I think at Zandvoort, I'm sure I was on commentary for that first win as well for you, and it was quite a close. That was a close one. That was very close. That was the sprint to the line was incredible. It blew my mind, that one. I think any one of 3 drivers could have won that coming into the DRS zone, then the sprint towards the finish line. So I can see why you would pick that one. I don't blame you in the slightest. I was like that way with Canada as well. That was my first victory. I can't remember what season it was. But yeah, that was one of mine. So here we go, folks. For the final time, the red lights come on. And it is green. And let's go racing. Drift Talk gets a start. But I tell you, who's that that got the start further back? That was Blurred Magic, I think, that got a great start. And a few drivers left. That's KG's on the grid. I think he's going. Oh, a few drivers knocked up. There's a bit of. There's a lot of contact further on. Not sure who that was. And Kick's gone straight on. Wow, that's carnage, ladies and gentlemen, in the first corner. Kick's left it for the session for the evening. There's an absolute carnage going on. Not sure on what is going on. Wow. But Drift Hawk and Saviour managed to get around the first few corners. I think people forgot where the brake pedal was. And it was a concertina effect, and it was an absolute pile-up through turn 1. Thank goodness damage is off, and thank goodness this isn't an open lobby. But that's allowed the top 2 to get away. Hammerclips is retired from the session. He's had enough for this evening, so the Ferrari boys are done for the day. And a lot of drivers now in close quarters. But had a little bit of a look at Wookie, had to back out. That's going to leave him vulnerable to Stube through the part of the Ascari. There is Stube, and then the BRD Ross as well is coming through. They get the better run, and they made it. But I tell you what, they've been quite close to the back as well. That's Ross as well. They're nearly side by side. Ross leave room as well. Mac and Blurt leave room. Just about. Good racing from them. Smith's left the session. Unfortunately for him. A few people ending early this evening. Oh, that tyre smoke of the lockup there is quite bad, let's be honest. Good exit for Mant. He now takes the place for Maka, who had that poor race in Miami, but has looked very strong since. Which is good to see he's stuck at it. And is learning all the time. And of course, driving in AI, GP modes, career modes is totally different to online league racing. You have drivers with actual minds, and you have a lot of fast drivers as well who will try and overtake in a different place. You've got to think differently than an AI model. And I think maybe catching a few of the newest drivers a little bit. As Mac Baby Hornet, oh, a little bit deep there. I think he may have to give the place back, or on another day would. That was a little bit close there. Into Ascari. A few gaps have formed. I'm interested to see what Kick can do with Ant behind him. I've got DRS, Ant's 4/10ths back, but the DRS can be very, very powerful down the start-finish straight. But has Ant got the downforce to get close? He doesn't seem to. That Red Bull seems very, very quick in a straight line. But Ant, look at that, gets the car turned a bit better, gets better traction as well than the Red Bull. Ant's got a bit more confidence. He's coming on the outside of Curva Grande. Who's going to be latest on the brakes into turn 4? Is it going to be Ant? Gets the move done before the brakes. What a move that was from Ant. Very well set up through turns 1 and 2. But Kick's not giving that one up. He tried to take a different line through the next chicane. Couldn't quite make it happen. So Ant takes that place and has actually closed the gap to the top 2, who swapped positions twice now. And now Ant actually is. And he is in the DRS as well. A few penalties that will feature at the end of this. Baby Hornet's starting to join the party as well. So this is going to be an interesting last 2 laps now. Who's going to be in the slipstream? Who's going to play the smart game here? Well, Savvy got the run through Parabolica, gets the move done. Not sure if he's left it, went too early. I think he did, and he didn't get the DRS. So Drifthawk moves straight back past. Kick is trying to close down, but Baby Hornet's looking interested as well. Kick's trying to go to the inside to get a clear braking. Oh, and I think he might have made a mistake there. I'm not sure why he's ghosting so much. That was an interesting one. A few glitches there. Again, first week, though, that the game has been released. Now Baby Hornet on the inside of Curva Grande. This is going to be almost role reversal of what we saw with Ant last lap. But Baby Hornet can't make it through this time round. Now top 3. Penultimate lap. So the top 5 and then DRS. Baby Hornet just about holding on. But Macca not a million miles away either. But Rookie's got Stube for company. Pardon me, as Saviour has a look. Has to back out that one into a Ascari chicane. Difficult one to make the pass. You've got to be very, very close and get the better run very early on. As Baby Hornet is looking close with Kick once again. He's going to try and have a look in the Parabolica. He's going to have the clean air, but Kick comes across. But look at Baby Hornet's got the better traction through Parabolica. They're both going to have the DRS, so this is going to be the main run into turn 1. Drifthawk in the lead. Oh, cut across, I think, and tried to block Saviour. There was a little touch. Saviour gets the move done with the DRS. I think Drifthawk's trying to brake, laid out, brakes himself. Get a 3-second penalty for his troubles. Just didn't look to be in control of the car there, under braking. Saviour, oof. Now switches to the inside, and I'm sure he's going to make the move. Drifthawk still trying to hold it there. Leave room at the exit, didn't leave enough room. Saviour on the grass. Had to yield, trying to shake the dirt off his tyres. Marker is almost there. What happened to Ant? Ant was there. I don't know, he's had a moment somewhere. He missed that in the background. Sorry, folks. But then we've got Kick and Baby Hornet there as well. But Saviour's very, very close. DRS for the final time. Is he going to try and make a move into Ascari? He's going for the outside line this time. He's ahead. But Drifthawk, just forces Saviour off. Late on the brakes, forced him off. Now Kick's trying to get interested, but Saviour's trying to make a move himself. Saviour in the slipstream. Is he going to try the switchback? We've seen a few times here it happened. There's been a tap for the Red Bull behind. Is Drifthawk going to hold on? He has got the penalty, so it will be Saviour who will take the win. The final one this evening. And that'll mean Baby Hornet is second as well. Drifthawk got the penalty, so did Kick. Wookie's going to finish 5th ahead of Macca, Armour, Stube, Bit, I think, and then it's the 2 Williams of Ant and Ross. Then we've got Ned, Loppy further back as well. Well, that was a bit fast and furious, wasn't it? So, again, we're just going to say, please keep any comments out of the general chat in Discord. If you have a problem, please contact some of the stewards and the senior admins. because then we can address it properly. But the driver of the day was Wookie. This one, fastest lap by Baby Hornet, with Saviour taking the win. Most overtakes by Armour, and the cleanest was Wookie. So there we are, ladies and gents. Thank you for joining me. It's been a bit hectic, and it's just our first foray into F1 25, and especially for a lot of these drivers getting used to the new assist levels and also the new settings and the new setups as well. Things will change, I am sure, by the time season begins. So, let me quickly tell you what is in store for MRC before the season begins. Potentially tomorrow evening, we will have a qualifying and race streamed for you live. That will be at Bahrain. Before then, the team draw, the eagerly anticipated team draw for season 17 will be brought to you live by myself as host with guests as well. That is on Monday the 9th of June at 7:30 p.m. Do not want to miss that at all. Then a week later we will have season 17 will get underway. That will be at 7 p.m. for the Tier 2 boys who will kick us off, and then Tier 1 will follow suit. Again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me this evening. It has been my pleasure to bring you some MRC action on track. And like I say, hopefully we'll have some more tomorrow evening for you. But until then, thank you all for watching, thank you for taking part, and we'll see you very, very soon. Good night.